My food stamps just got cut from a little over $3,000 a month to $800 a month, and I'm pregnant with my 9th child, and I genuinely don't know how I'm gonna pay the grocery bill.
If you are an able-bodied person, you have to go get a job. If you want food stamps, you have to go get a job. So I either have to go get a job or I lose my food stamps.
Trump has cut my food stamps from $2,800 down to $350. Now, what am I supposed to do?
So it looks like food stamps are being cut in 2025 going into 2026, and people are not happy about this. So in this video, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about why people getting cut off of food stamps don't just affect people on SNAP, that it affects all of our asses. When people lose access to food, it causes desperation. And desperate people make desperate choices. If you ain't never had to worry about where your next meal gonna come from or how the hell you gonna feed your kids, and all of a sudden you do, imagine what you will or won't do. Imagine that kind of pressure. It is going to push people towards things that they would never normally do. Crime is going to rise, theft in grocery stores is going to go up, and people who ain't never had to live off of beanies and weenies and oodles and noodles, they might just themselves over this. And guess who's going to cover those costs? And I'm not just talking about the higher prices at the register. I'm talking about the peace of mind. I'm talking about having to dash your ass to your car with your grocery bags out of fear that somebody's going to knock your head off for a loaf of bread. It's not about hunger. It's about survival. And when survival is threatened, then the community pays the price. So when you think that food stamps being cut doesn't affect you, think again. A hungry neighbor creates ripples that affects us all.
Honestly, I can see something like that happening. People not knowing what they're going to do for their next meal, so they might turn and do things that they never expected. Like she said, this can honestly have a negative effect on everybody.
I'm going to tell you how the Big Beautiful Bill will affect food stamps, also known as the SNAP program, and when these changes will come into effect, because not all of them are going to happen right away. The Big Beautiful Bill will reduce nutrition funding, which includes the SNAP program, by $186 billion, billion with a B, by the year 2034. This program will also force states to shoulder at least 5% of the SNAP benefits costs starting in the year 2028. This is deliberate. I'm going to get to this in a minute. Currently, the program is 100% federally funded and has been since its creation in 1939. States will be forced to find millions, even billions of extra dollars in their budget, or be forced to leave the SNAP program entirely, cutting off millions of Americans from this vital assistance. In addition to this, more than 5 million Americans will be cut from SNAP benefits due to the new work provision requirements. This is only going to harm children, veterans, disabled individuals, and seniors who live off of these benefits. The work provision requirements state that you need to work or volunteer at least 20 hours per week in order to qualify for your benefits. Currently, these work requirements apply to people between the ages of 18 and 54, as long as they don't have any dependents or disabilities. But the Big Beautiful Bill has raised this age range to include individuals up to the age of 64, as well as required parents with children over the age of 14 to meet these work requirements. If parents fail to meet the work requirements and lose their SNAP benefits, their children will still qualify for and receive their SNAP benefits. Roughly 900,000 people in this age group will be affected. Veterans, people experiencing homelessness, and previous foster youth must also now meet these work requirements. About 270,000 individuals will be affected by this. Around 600,000 individuals may lose some of their monthly SNAP benefit amount due to changes in how utility expenses are calculated. This bill also limits SNAP eligibility to U.S. citizens and lawful permanent residents only. Previously, certain immigrants, refugees, people seeking asylum, survivors of domestic violence, and victims of trafficking were able to qualify for SNAP benefit. They no longer qualify. Because of the Big Beautiful Bill, more people will have to work or volunteer in order to meet these qualifications and in order to keep their life-saving benefits. People who were previously exempt from these benefits will now have to prove that they meet the work requirements in order to keep said benefits. States can now only waive work requirements in areas that have an unemployment rate of over 10%. This may makes it much harder for states to help people who cannot find work. Around 1.1 million people who live in high unemployment areas will now no longer qualify for waivers. Child nutrition programs such as school meals and summer electronic benefits transfer, which provide families with the funds to afford their children's lunches during the summer months, will also suffer at SNAP benefit funding cuts. This bill will also eliminate SNAP Ed, which is the primary funding source for City Harvest nutrition and education programming. This program teaches people the skills and knowledge to prepare nutritious, budget-friendly meals with the free produce that SNAP provides. These food aid cuts will also lead to job losses and hit gross domestic product by state. Trump's bill puts 40 million Americans at greater risk of food insecurity. I'm gonna say that one more fucking time. The big, beautiful bill puts 40 million Americans at greater risk of food insecurity. If you currently receive SNAP benefits, they are unlikely to change immediately. New work requirements and utility allowance cuts could go into effect right away, but states will still need time to update their systems. Other changes will be phased in over the next few years. It is intentional that some of these changes, specifically the requirement that states take on 5% of the SNAP benefits costs, will not take place until 2028. They want to blame the results of this bill on the next president, especially if that president is a Democrat. SNAP helps so many low-income people, veterans, senior citizens, disabled individuals, and others feed themselves and their families. For every meal that the food bank provides, SNAP provides 9. SNAP not only reduces food insecurity, but stimulates the local economy. If you think that people who live off of food stamps are just lazy people who don't want to get a fucking job, you clearly don't know how SNAP works.
I just got my food stamp letter regarding my cash assistance and my disability because somebody reported me and they denied me for all of it. So me and my kids were getting disability. I was getting cash assistance and I was also getting food stamps. And they shut me off on all of them. I did an appeal. I just got my letter. So with this new 2025 food stamp that Trump is trying to pass or is passed, if you are an able-bodied person, you have to go get a job. If you want food stamps, you have to go get a job. So I either have to go get a job or I lose my food stamps. But if I go get a job and start making money, then my disability, it gets canceled. So how does that work? Because I was on food stamps, I was on cash assistance, and I was on disability. Me and my kids. What I make should not matter for my kids' disability. Am I right or am I wrong about that? And my TikTok income is not considered a real job. I have to go get a real job if I want to keep my food stamp. But then I will lose disability if I get that job. Help me out, state of Michigan.
Her claiming disability, seeming like she could work for herself, but just not wanting to, is the problem. It honestly just looks like she's been taking advantage of the system, and she finally got caught. The only person she can blame for that is herself.
My food stamps just got cut from a little over $3,000 a month to $800 a month, and I'm pregnant with my 9th child, and I genuinely don't know how I'm going to pay the grocery bill. The money we saved by having the government pay for our groceries, we were using to pay for our mortgage. But now, if we're going to have to use our mortgage money to eat, I don't know how we're going to make it. It's not possible for me to go out and get a job right now because I'm pregnant with my 9th child and it's currently summer break. So if I were to get a job, I would have to send all 8 of my other kids to daycare, which I can't afford, and I don't have any marketable skills to where I can make a job that would be paying more than the daycare cost. I have 6 different baby daddies, and I've tried going to all of them to ask for more child support, and only one of them has offered to give me an extra $100 a month, which, I'm grateful for that, but it's not enough to take care of all of my kids. I'm planning on taking the baby daddy that I know makes the most money back to court to see if I can get a little bit more of his income, but I can't afford to take every baby daddy back to court to get more money, so I'm in such a bind right now.
A lot of y'all finna feel how we been feeling all these years, because Trump new bill came into effect on the 1st, and he cutting 2 million y'all off stamps. Now, mind y'all, when y'all started acting funny with us and didn't want to, sell your yamps, we let y'all live. We didn't say anything. When people start acting funny with me, I was like, okay, I chalked up to the chin. I just had to balance my money and redo my budget. I couldn't buy the things I wanted to buy. Now y'all finna feel how we feel. We don't want y'all get on here crying, asking for no CAs. Because we been doing this for years. Y'all have fun at the grocery store. Because we going to be looking at y'all when y'all be in the line. And y'all be asking us, do you got? No, we don't got a thing. Rethink your choices.
Trump has cut my food stamps from $2,800 down to $350. Now, what am I supposed to do? Huh? So I literally just got this piece of mail today saying that due to new policy changes from the Trump administration, all this shit, whatever, that all these cuts and whatever he's doing over there, now they're telling me I have to go work. Now I have to go do all this. Well, I literally got 5 kids. Okay, I'm trying to sit here and spend time with them. I'm not trying to go work, 50, 60 hours a week so I can pay bills.
You're an adult.
I just really don't understand. I voted for him this last election because I thought what he had good was going on, but now all of a sudden, all this policy stuff's coming out, and now he's making all these cuts, and now he doesn't want to help the less fortunate people no more. I'm done with that guy. I'm not. If he gets voted in again, I'm leaving this country, because I'm not dealing with this no more. This is all shit.
Going to work 50 hours a week to pay your bills is what a normal adult does. Even the ones that have kids. Are you trying to spend time with them every day of their life? Because at a certain point, if you're not making any money, how much can you do for them? Just sitting in the house is not going to do it. And if you don't have a job and you're not making any money, then you can't do nothing. As a grown adult, you should want to go to work to make your own money so you can support your family. You shouldn't want to depend on government assistance to enjoy your life. I honestly don't know what it is, but a lot of people seem to feel entitled when it comes to their food stamps. And those same people just don't want to work. Now, I want to know what you guys think about this whole food stamp EBT situation. So let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. As for the video, this was the end. So if you enjoyed this one, make sure you leave a like on it. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button too so you can stay tuned for the next video. Until then, I'll see you on the next one.